If you look at all the content creators, they're saying the same thing. Week after week after game, we're saying Casemiro looks past it. We're saying Bruno Fernandes is moving mad, can't keep the ball, loses the ball in the worst places. They're saying Rashford is finished. We need a clear out, and I'm saying it. Ten Hag out.
He said it.
You are now listening to Pree Da Production with your host, Majaro.
You see this top? You already know what time it is. It's time to talk about Manchester United, and specifically Manchester United's 2023 to 2024 disaster of a season. Where do I start? I feel like the only real place to start and finish is Erik ten Hag. I don't know, people are going to be saying, the players, what about the players? They threw Ole under the bus, they threw Mourinho under the bus, they threw Van Gaal, Moyes under the bus. But I'm sorry, but the stuff Erik ten Hag has done this season has been bastard. Like some of the lineups, some of the starting 11, some of the lineups post injuries, rushing players back from injury, not giving us updates on other players that got long-term injuries like Terrell Malacia. Like, where does it start? Okay, let's take the first quarter of this season, right? We don't renew David De Gea's contract. We let him go. Not even a testimonial, bro. The disrespectfulness. He's been our goalkeeper for 12 years and we don't even give him a farewell goodbye. We don't even acknowledge that he's left on the pitch. No standing ovation, no ceremony, no nothing. 12 years, that's what it gets you at Manchester United. After being player of the season, 2, 3, 4 times it feels like? And to get booted like that for Ten Hag's man, Andre Crisp Packet Hands Onana. His start to the season was terrible, and it was just epitomized by that Champions League run. We were there, but that was the very first sign of seeing this team collapse and crumble under this management. Andre Onana was a bad buy. I'm sorry it was a bad buy, because that doesn't just eat into the position of goalkeeper. Now we have to stick with this goalkeeper, and it's going to be a long time until we get a new one. Not only that, but it affects other positions. You didn't need to get De Gea replacement. You needed a striker, a centre mid, and a centre back of maybe not world class capability, but above average at minimum. And guess what? We didn't get a centre back, and we didn't get a somewhat serviceable striker that can perform, maybe not week in, week out, but some consistency in terms of what you're getting overall. We didn't get that. Instead, we got Mason Mount, who's been injured for 90% of the season. Rasmus Højlund, who had a purple patch that was magnificent, but other than that, he's been flattering to deceive. Just out here wrestling with centre backs and that, doing backflips and moonsaults, but no goals. It's tough. I'll give him credit for that purple patch until he got injured, but we needed another striker, and that has been one of the things that I've noticed the most in terms of player profile and squad building. It was, heavily speculated that when Ten Hag came in, he would have say over certain things like the players that come in. He would have first refusal on this and that. He would want to have some sort of autonomy when it comes to constructing his team. And that's what we felt was happening at the start. We got Lisandro Martinez, a good signing, even though this season he's been injury prone. This guy can't catch a break. Anthony, boy, less said the better. We were supposed to get him for 15-30 mil max. Ended up paying 90, and now Ten Hag's brother is being investigated along with other business partners in association with his agency and close proximity to Erik Ten Hag, seems like some fishy business might have gone on. No wonder it was strange when we paid 90 million for him. 90 million euros, let's just be accurate. Who else? Terrell Malacia. What's going on with him? What's going on with him? Because this guy hasn't seen the light of day since the summer. Since last summer, we have not seen this guy outside. It's like he's hiding. There is no pictures. If you look on his Instagram, I can't even remember what the last picture was. It's probably with him and Rashford chilling in Miami or something. This guy has gone missing. I don't know what's going on. It must be that Bandulu medical stuff, because everyone just seems to be dropping like flies and not coming back anytime soon. Johnny Evans was probably the best signing. Johnny Evans was probably the best signing because he's been available for most of the season. When he's not been available, it is what it is. We had other people in that position, but you're seeing right now the squad's thin. The squad's thin, especially at left back. Luke Shaw constantly injured. We get Reguilon, okay, cool. Let's keep him to the end of the season. No, Ten Hag sends it back in January, and then when Luke Shaw inevitably gets injured and there's no sign of Terrell Malacia, he goes, well, I was told I was going to get two fully fit fullbacks in the left back position after the international break in January, and now we've got no fit left backs. You can't make this shit up.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
After letting go of Alvarez Fernandez, a left back from the youth academy, we could have used him. I don't know why you didn't keep him in the squad. At least a third place left back, just in case. I mean, you've got loads of wingers that you don't use. You had Hannibal Mejbri, he was like a Roman 8, barely used him. You had Ahmad. Ahmad can't catch a break. After scoring against Liverpool, doesn't start for the next 3-4 games. After scoring the winner, that's when you know you gotta go, bro. If I was Ahmad, I'd say, yo, I'm out. I did my thing, and you didn't reward me. I'm gone. No holding me back. No nothing. I'm asking to get gone because I need to play football because I'm better than that. Erik Ten Hag. And the thing is, right, he makes a rod for his own back, because when we do have injuries, in positions where you could actually accommodate young players, he doesn't do it. He doesn't do it. Instead of playing, Willy Kambwala more games than he has this season, he went with Johnny Evans, he was half fit. He went with Lindelof, he was half fit. He went to, playing Varane 2 games in a week when you're not supposed to do that. After slating this guy, saying, oh, he can't play left side, him and Maguire can't play together, X, Y, and Z, only for a couple months down the line for him to start playing them when he has no options. And this is this guy's problem. He's got options, but he's not going to use them unless he's forced. Casemiro gets injured. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play Scott McTominay there. Instead of rejigging the formation, rejigging positions and instructions to accommodate that weakness, he's going to play Scott McTominay and give him the instructions to carry on going forward. Don't help the defense at all. Don't support Kobbie Mainoo. Sorry, Kobbie Mainoo. Get that right, guys. It's Kobbie Mainoo. Doesn't support Bruno Fernandes. He scores goals, and give him credit to that. And that's his role. But as a manager, you need to be able to accommodate certain people being out of the squad. Left back, instead of playing Aaron Wan-Bissaka there, play Delo there because he has more experience, and play Aaron Wan-Bissaka on the right back's position. Instead of asking him to play on the left side, where this guy's prone to slide tackling, and then he gives away a penalty because he's trying to slide tackle on the wrong side that he's used to. So many instances of just picking the wrong players. And don't get me started on the formations and the instructions. This guy wants 6 players to attack and 4 players to defend. it doesn't make no sense. You got Delo bursting forward. You got Mainu going forward. You got Rashford, Garnacho, Bruno, Rasmus, and they're all pressing in that forward line. But when it comes to that middle third, they're just running through us like a dirty gal. It's just carnage, absolute siege on our defensive line. And you got Casemiro, who's walking in quicksand. Casemiro. Let's get to that Casemiro signing. This guy, when it came to the start of the season, he looked like he was overweight. But I thought, given the benefit of the doubt. First game happens, he's running through treacle, people running after him, X, Y, and Z. And I'm just like, give him a chance, give him some time. I've heard he starts off slow. Doesn't start, gets injured for like 3 months. Comes back in, leggy. You think, okay, let me give him some slack. He's just come back into the squad. Leggy. Now that's just him. He's just leggy now. Instead of being a steady Eddie, he's just a steady leggy. Like, my man's just running to nowhere, and all the tackles he puts in is like he's asking to be red carded. He's asking to be suspended. This is Ten Hag's fault, because he said to the transfer team, to whoever who was heading up the recruitment department, I want Frankie de Jong. Frankie de Jong. Even if he's on exorbitant wages, even if he's at his ball-heeled club in Barcelona, the team he supported for the day, even though he's got wages that are owed, not even high contracts, wages that he's due from now going forward, past due payments because of Barcelona's inadequacy to run their finances during COVID. They deferred a lot of payments to legends like PK and current players now like Frankie de Jong. Of course he's gonna stay and get that money, because Manchester United ain't gonna make up that deficit. Barcelona definitely ain't gonna do that. So what do you want the player to do? He was never going to come. 3 strikes, you're out. 3 reasons why he's not going to come to your team, and 1 reason why he might think of it when his contract runs out, and it's because you're the manager. If he wanted you to be his manager so much, he would have left, but he didn't. And because we spent so long chasing that one signing, that has affected our strategy, our recruitment strategy for 2 whole seasons, because he can't find a way to play Ajax football, because that's what we bought this guy in to play. Ajax football. Not Ten Hag football, Ajax football, because we see what Ten Hag football looks like. Looks nothing like Ajax football. And that's the type of manager I've realised he is. He is not a possession-oriented manager. He is a pressing manager. Everything comes from the press. We win the ball with the press. We score because we win the ball with the press. There's a mistake, we're in the right positions to press on that mistake and score. Turnover, counter press, let's play in transition. He is not a possession-based manager. That's just what I've come to realise. Possession is not his forte. So, when he really wants a possession style player and he doesn't get him, what does he think of doing? Real Madrid are dashing out this guy, let's get him. He's solid, he's good in the tackle, he can string a few passes together. Doesn't work out in the long term because we paid 70 million and he's 31 and now he's washed. Because we spent so much time on Frankie de Jong, we were so blindsided, that has caused us to pay extra on players like Anthony. Possibly, we don't know because that's a fishy situation. We didn't think of any alternatives. There must be players who can carry the ball with a pass or a dribble comfortably and who likes to play in that first third, press resistant. This team ain't press resistant. We've got 1-2 players max that are press resistant. Andre Onana and Kobe Manu. Everyone else is suspect at best. suspect at best. Oh, I could say Lisandro Martinez. That one recruitment flaw in terms of strategy and trying to get that player. Because we didn't get that player, his whole idea of playing football at the start of his tenure has gone out the window. He's admitted it numerous times. I'm not trying to play Ajax football. I haven't got the players to do that. If he had Frankie de Jong, I guarantee he would have started playing that football. He was the Rodri to his Pep. That was simple as it. He was the conductor. He was the guy that was going to transform the whole team. And we were going to build around that guy with everything in mind. But because we didn't get him, he thought, okay, how do I, I've got transition players, they need someone to protect them when they're coming back. Who's the best available central defender that likes to tackle a lot? Okay, Casemiro, he's world class, he's won the Champions League bare times, he'll do a job. First season, maximum. But you paid 70 million for him. Make it make sense. And now, because of all that bad planning and overspent money on players that short term, this is a crazy thing, because we were trying to go away from short term buys and long term buys. It's like we're in a mixed mash house. There was no one to tell him, no, we can't do that because financially in the long term it doesn't work out for us, because we're going to pay X on wages, X on transfer fee, agent fees. Altogether it's 100 million at least for a 3-4 year contract, but he's gonna decline in 2-3 years, so it's not worth it. Let's go for this player, let's go for that player who offers the same profiles. That's the thing, alternate profiles. We've got no person that says these are the profiles of player we want, let's go get them because they fit this profile. We need a carrier, we need a ball winner, we need a final third player that can, get that final pass and score and assist. We don't have that. We have a massive hole, a whole donut in the middle of our midfield, and it's because Erik ten Hag couldn't leave Frankie de Jong alone. That's the real reason we are in this mess. That's the real reason why we can't play football coherently and we're looking bipolar every game. We're going from losing 1-0 to winning 2-1 to losing 3-2. We go from winning 1-0 to drawing 2-2. We go from scoring 2 goals and drawing 2. It's so frustrating. And people always ask me, why don't you do the Manchester United reviews no more? Why don't you, comment on the games? And I want to. But every week I realized I was saying the same thing. If you look at all the content creators, they're saying the same thing. Week after week after game after game. We're saying Casemiro looks past it. We're saying Bruno Fernandes is moving mad. Can't keep the ball, loses the ball in the worst places. They're saying Rashford is finished. We need a clear out, and I'm saying it. Ten Hag out.
He said it.
And it's not because he's a terrible coach. It's not that he's a bad man motivator. I believe he is, though. It's not that he's uncharismatic. It's because he's made too many mistakes. Casemiro, Cristiano Ronaldo, Terrell Malacia, Anthony, Sancho. That was a big mistake. Looking back on it, I used to criticize Sancho for doing that. Now I'm like, okay, I understand why you were frustrated. Because if Ahmad scores a winner against Liverpool and he doesn't play the next available game that he's able to be picked for, I would be pissed. I would be going to social media too, especially if he tries bringing me on and said, well, Sancho didn't make the matchday squad because he wasn't putting enough effort. At that point, you're like, bruv, I've been putting effort, I played well with the limited time you've given me, and you're not even giving me a start. You haven't given me one start this season. I understand it, brother. I apologize for going in too hard. We don't know what was going on. But now we've seen the season plan out. We've seen his stubbornness. We've seen his rigidness, his rigidity when it comes to picking certain players, acting like they're gonna magically turn on the magic spark and give us something that we haven't seen from them in years, or the inconsistency is just not there. Rashford's moving like a schizophrenic addict. One season he's amazing, the next season he's Rashford. One season he's amazing and he's scoring, 31 goals and doing this to his head top. Next season he's doing up Rash Bandicoot. Everything needs to go. Rashford needs to get sold. Bruno needs to get sold. He's my guy, but I'm sorry, but his time's over, bro. This is the time to cash in. Those two players give us a lot of money. Who else? Maguire, Scott McTominay. I'm sorry. I would like to keep him in the squad, but you've been through too much. These guys have got to go. Who else has got to go? Luke Shaw. He needs to pack it. I'm sorry, but he can't keep fit. Varane. Sorry. We need something more reliable. Delo. He's just a steady Eddie. He scores one worldy a season, and that's about it. He'll give you 6 to 7.5 maximum, but that's it. That's all you're gonna get. Who else? Casemiro needs to gone like yesterday. Eriksen, you already know he's frustrated. He's saying stuff on international break, saying, the manager wants to play in a different way. You can see from the lineup X, Y, and Z. So players have been coming out and saying, he's not playing the same way we were playing last season, which is true. Whatever he decided to do at the start of the season just wasn't working, and he's carried on with it. Right, I need to stop talking. Anyways, we need to sell those players. We need to get Ineos in fully with their people, their manager, and let them from top to bottom have a strategy. And if you can't get player A, you get player B. If you can't get player B, you get player C. You don't rip up the whole book just because you can't get Frankie fucking de Jong. Anyways, it's your boy Midge. Let me know what you think about this video in the comments below. What do you think about Manchester United? What do you think about Erik ten Hag? Are these players finished? 90% of them need to go. Let me know in the comments below. And as always, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
I be kidding on my foes, even though I got it